Hey RT family, Ryan Reynolds here with Keller Williams Consultants Realty. Today I want to talk to you about one of the biggest items in the news. And I'm not just talking about local news or even national news, but international news. What is that item? Well, it's not that I shaved my beard off, although I know that's probably a close second. The actual news is that Intel is going to be building a plant out in Licking County here in Central Ohio. So Intel, of course, manufacturer of microchips, and microchips go in pretty much everything. And of course, you've probably heard in the other news that the shortage of microchips that we've been having because of supply chain issues and whatever else has been impacting pretty much everything, especially cars, and making them much less available, and therefore also increasing the price of those things. So as a matter of national security and definitely economic security, building a plant in the United States is a really good thing, because right now I think almost all of the chips come from somewhere overseas. So what are they going to be doing? So in New Albany, I understand it's going to be over a 1,000-acre plant, or a facility of over 1,000 acres. You're going to have 3,000 new permanent jobs that are going to be in the $130,000 per year average jobs, so really high-paying jobs. And in the immediate future, you're going to be seeing 7,000 new construction jobs. And so that is a big impact to have on Central Ohio. Not going to get into why they chose Central Ohio, but I'm really glad that they did. What I am going to get into is its impact on real estate. So before we go into talking about what the impact this new Intel plant will have, let's just talk about where real estate is right now. So obviously seasonally, there's not very many homes in the market, but just from a perspective of all time, we have almost no inventory on the market. Demand is really high, interest rates are really low, and pricing has gone up. I think last year it was in double digits in our market in terms of the percentage increase. So real estate's doing really well. What are we seeing in the next 6 months? 6 months to a year. So the Federal Reserve has said they're going to be raising interest rates, which will put a upward pressure on mortgage rates, and then that will put a downward pressure on the affordability of getting a mortgage. And so as prices go up, as interest rates go up, what that means is that that mortgage on a house will cost a whole lot more, because the interest rates are slated to go up somewhere between 0.5 and 3/4 of a point this year. But that will likely cause a shrinking of demand. So because it's more expensive, less people can afford it, the mortgages for a particular house, and then theoretically that would push the price to be either flat or not going up as fast. That's kind of what's happening when you think about what would be going on in the next 6 months without this plant. So now factor in an additional 3,000 new long-term permanent homes, 7,000 temporary jobs, and of course you have to start thinking about all the other things that go into a community that's going to be built around these 3,000 potentially new people. And we're thinking everything from fitness clubs and to Chinese food restaurants to gas stations. Anything that a person normally needs to have, they're probably going to have a huge demand for that. So that's going to create an additional demand on top of our already pretty strong demand, and that will likely offset what's going to be going on with the diminishing demand from the interest rates being up or raising. And so I see the market really kind of continuing on its trajectory now. In fact, if anything, the value of homes is going to go up faster with this announcement. And just kind of as evidence of that, I've already gotten calls from people outside of our local market asking about what they can do to take advantage and invest in the area. And so obviously different people have different investment goals, and so we can get into that another time. But just the fact that people are already calling is pretty amazing. So that's my take on the Intel plant being built here in Central Ohio. If you have questions about your specific situation, feel free to reach out. We offer free in-home consultations if you're thinking about selling, and also buyer consultations. We can either meet in person or do those on Zoom to help customize a solution for what your real estate needs are. Just remember, the Ryan Reynolds team, unlimited opportunities and exceptional experiences.